Penny sat at the kitchen table with her laptop, a very large glass of wine, and a plate of what looked like her own mint chocolate chip cookies at her elbow. I'd probably kill for either, especially since there was still that matter of the favor Nell had asked of me. I'd spent far too many hours when I should have been sleeping trying to decide just how stupid I was for actually considering asking Penny out. The thing was, I wanted to do it for me, not for Nell. Penny was muttering to herself, which reminded me so much of Bill that I snorted. She turned her glower my way. "What?" Her hair was piled on top of her head, held there by a clip that wasn't quite doing its job containing those wild waves of hers. No makeup, and near as I could tell from her Bite Me t-shirt, no bra either. I loved the look, to the point that all of my stress promptly melted away. The power of nipples. She narrowed her eyes. I had zero idea why her attitude both cracked me up and turned me on, and even less of a clue if she felt any of that back, but I smiled. "Hello to you too." She sighed. "Sorry, paying bills makes me cranky." I knew what it was like to struggle with not enough money, and seeing her stressed out pinched my heart. "Anything I can do?" "Gift me a winning lotto ticket?" She popped a whole cookie in her mouth and gestured to the rest along with the wine. "Help yourself," she said around the large bite. I picked up her glass, holding her gaze while I took a sip. When I swallowed, she bit her lower lip. I tried not to let it go to my head as I inhaled 2 cookies. "Good?" she asked, amused. "Amazing." I took one more. I skipped lunch. She stood, went to the fridge, and pulled out 2 wrapped sandwiches. "Turkey or roast beef? I made them this morning, and no one here has claimed them yet." I ate both. She poured me a glass of wine as I did. "What's up?" she asked when I finally filled up. I gestured to the faucet repair kit I'd set on the counter and rolled my sleeves to my elbows. Her gaze drifted to my forearms. "What are you doing?" "Promised Nell I'd fix the sink." "You don't have to do that." "I know." I opened the kit and headed to the sink, and 2 seconds later felt Penny breathing over my shoulder. I turned my head and our mouths nearly collided. She inhaled sharply, but interestingly enough, didn't pull back. "I want to be able to do this myself next time," she said while staring at my mouth. "Good idea," my mouth said, while wondering what hers would taste like and how her legs might feel wrapped around my hips. "So, show me?" she murmured. I blinked, for a split second thinking she wanted me to follow through on my fantasies. But then she smirked. "That's cruel," I muttered. She laughed, the sound contagious, and the way she gestured to the sink, silently demanding I get on with it, made me laugh too. I showed her what to do, how to pull off the bad part and replace it. She reached into the sink to do the work, our arms brushing, her hair in my face, but neither of us shifted away. Not surprisingly, she followed my instructions to the T, her nose adorably scrunched in fierce concentration. "How did you learn to do all this stuff?" she asked, leaning against the counter as I gathered up the tools. I shrugged. Growing up, we lived in a lot of places that were not new. I got good at taking things apart and putting them back together again. I was pretty sure she was listening, but her eyes were on my mouth again. "How do you still smell so good after a long day at work?" she whispered. I couldn't help the grin, and she blinked as if she hadn't meant to ask that out loud. I laughed. "You think I smell good?" Tossing up her hands, she went back to the table. Knowing now was the perfect time to ask her, I instead gathered my stuff and moved to the door, because I really wished I'd told Nell no, so I could do this just for me. "Ryder?" I turned to find Penny holding out a baggie of her cookies. "Thank you," she said softly, genuinely. "How much do we owe you?" I took the baggie. "Consider the debt paid and thanks for lunch." Ask her, a little voice inside my head said. She tilted her head. "What are you having for dinner?" I just stared at her. She made a sound that clearly meant I was an idiot before going to the freezer and pulling out a container that she carefully packed into a cold pack-style lunchbox. Chicken enchiladas. Enough for you and Hank. Warm them up in the oven, not the microwave. 2 things. 1, she'd said Hank, not your dad, which meant she'd picked up on my complicated feelings about the man and didn't seem to judge me for it. And 2, I might have just fallen in love right then and there.